For you to forgive means that you let go of that hurt. I'll never forget what you did, but I have to forgive you in order to continue to move on. If not, I'll hold up all of this resentment and hate towards you. And I think that's one of our downfalls, is that we battle with that a lot. We don't want to forgive. It's innately in us to let that pain go. But because we are picking up white culture and they are known not to forgive, they are not bound. Well, I'm not going to say they, some of them are not bound in the spirit. Western civilization isn't necessarily bound in the spirit, it's bound in religion. It's a difference, right? They don't preach to let things necessarily go when people hurt you that way, in the way that we need to let it go. And
No,
because of that,
it's
we
and
fight
that
against that feeling, and that creates anger, because a lot of Black people hold a lot of emotions on our sleeves. We let you in easily because that's who we are. It has been a part of our downfall, but it's also been the reason we can always wipe ourselves up, get back up, and do better than other people around us. So it's
that's
all in how we use that skill. And I just
I
feel
I
like that's just,
I have an
I
example tied to what you're saying.
I hear you, Ty, but
Like
I
a
gotta
black man
gotta
spent time with
disagree
the
on that
KKK
because
leader.
that has not done us any justice
I was about to give you an
over the
example where it
past.
has. I can give you an example where it has. This one black interviewer got
Can you
a
make it quick,
interview with
Don?
the KKK leader, and he knew that he wasn't going to secure him if he told him he was black. So he ended up sitting down with the KKK leader, and when they first got there, they both was on pin and needles because the KKK leader didn't know he was black. But the black guy asked him, "Let me just be around you. Let me just follow you around." He was there with an open heart. The door slammed real loud, and they both jumped. And then they just started laughing after they jumped because they realized, I don't like you because of this fear I have of you, this thought I have of you. So he continued to hang around the KKK leader, and he was a leader. He wasn't like one of the like small guys or whatever, but he was a leader. And after he kept kicking with him, at first they were calling him boy. They wasn't calling him by his name, but he continued to stay around them and give them like genuine love. Like he didn't have nothing against them. Like, I'm just trying to get to know you. Well, long story short, in the end, the KKK leader ended up renouncing himself. And then because the KKK leader was bringing him around, the people who followed him, also, you know what I'm saying, they ended up leaving too. So he ended up affecting a lot of people just by giving that one person a chance, like, and forgiving him. And I do feel like violence is necessary in some instances. And I feel like men should be able to determine it, but then they also have to learn when peace is also, it is definitely an option. I do feel like it's definitely showed the power of it over time, especially when it came from black people. Because regardless if white people want to be spiritual or not, they still have a spirit. It can still be affected, and it might not be through us, but God still has control over everybody if they really want to be a certain type of person. So I feel like once he put himself in that environment and people was actually able to get to see a black person and get to be around a black person and know a black person, it really changed the thoughts of a lot of people who was actually in the KKK. So I feel like it worked in some instances. I feel like you need both. You need Martin Luther King and Malcolm X.
So I think one of our problems is we'll forgive everybody else, but we won't forgive each other. We'll hold that shit like 50 Cent to the end. I think that's our problem. We'll sit there and each other we'll do it bad, but you forget what that white boy said to you and did to you at work, and just let it go. But each other, nah. we see it now. We see a prime example of what Irv Gotti and 50 Cent going through now. Let that been somebody else called have been squashed 20,
Hey, I do.
20 years ago.
Yeah, I do want to show this real quick. This was the dialogue between Micho over there, BMF. They told me you won't follow me off of Instagram, and now you managing Skilla Baby with Rocket when I brought him around you first, when you didn't have a clue who he was. Now you mad at me when I would take the shirt off my back for you. I can't believe this, man. You act as if I'm your enemy. I've only showed you love and loyalty. And human, I go through my own but I never switch up on you. F. Ross. But he gave my dad some bread so he can afford to pay his bills until our next season start. This internet throwing me off, man. You know me in real life. This is 50 Cent response. What next season, little ninja?
Yeah.
I guess that's BMF.
Because think about it from 50 Cent point of view, why would I want anybody around that be paid off? People could buy you. That's how 50 seeing it. Like people could buy you. I get what Lil Meech saying, like he helped him with his bills and his family. But obviously 50 Cent really not fucking with dude in real life. I don't think he would have, you feel me?
Because if that was the case, if they were as close as Lil Meech is saying, then why didn't 50 give his daddy the money to pay his bills until then? Why did he have to go outside of 50 to even go to anyone else to ask for that?
Maybe 50 paid him for his work. So 50 is a big person on, I will put you in positions to win, but if you don't make the right investments, that's on you. 50 Cent makes that known very well. I will put you in positions, I will get you the education, but I'm not going to do it for you.
But no, look.
When you hear that?
When he was saying that about his son, he said the same thing about his son. He put his son in positions to win and gave him ideas, and his son was not. His son like, no, give me money, and he like, no, I'll give you the education, I'll give you the resources, but I'm not just handing you no money.
The only way for 50 to have, the only way that 50 would be able to make BMF and use their actual names is if he paid them off. So he hit their hands. He for sure hit Meech's hand. There's no way that he made a whole entire show using his name, his brother name, knowing the story. He hit their hand. So there's more to the story for sure. So I with that, I kind of understand where 50 is coming from. Because again, if I was shot 9 times, potentially by a nigga that probably know me, he know that my grandma stay here. You know what I'm saying? If this is my experience, then hey, I don't know if you gonna try and set me up too.
Period.
So we gotta keep it we gotta keep it a buck here. I understand you women, y'all never lived that life. You know, it's y'all you know, Ash, I know you was kicking it on the block with some Crips here and there. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got your little feet wet or whatnot. You know, you thought you was, hey, let me hit the blood. Let me hit the blood, cuz. You know what I'm saying? I get it. But when you actually in that life, when that shit is real, you know what I'm saying? When you done had homies transition, they no longer here, and you watch them go out. Oh, you got to move a certain type of way. So it's messy as hell, but I can't knock them for doing it.